Actually, my route to WT was a little bit of a scattered one. I'm a transplant, as a lot of people are. When I came out of high school, I thought that football was kind of cool and that I needed to be playing football, and so I actually started at Texas Tech. There's a whole story about my mom and dad talking me into going and checking out WT, but I did do that. Thought, well, this is not so bad, so I'll give this a shot. Came to WT, and probably one of the better decisions I've ever made in my life. The professors, second to none, they cared. I've got many, many, many memories of Dr. Don Williams would meet us after hours. I can remember having dinners from time to time over at Dr. Colette's house. Just not to go over there to study or anything, just because he cared, and he and his wife would have you over for dinner. I look back on it now and think, I mean, that to me, that's first class. That's the accountability that was held, the compassion, the interaction that those professors put in.
I grew up next door to Ray and Barbara in Dimmitt, so I've known Mike my whole life. Actually, Barbara was my third grade teacher, and when Mike and Mark would come home for the summers to visit, my little brother and I would go over there and drag them out to the front yard and play football with them. And I can remember my parents taking me to WT football games to watch Mike when he played, and at that time, as a young kid, he was bigger than life.
Mike has a special heart. You know, he doesn't like people to know what he's about, or he loves to give, but he doesn't like everybody to know that he's giving. And that's one of my very, very favorite things about him. He truly is just a great friend.
You know, when you look at what a good example of a father and a family man is, Mike is that, and he is that because of where he comes from. Ray and Barbara Bain were just such tremendous community people, solid family people. They instilled a lot of ideas into Nancy and Mark and Mike.
He had a great foundation with Ray and Barbara Bain. He's not Ray Bain and he's not Barbara Bain, but I think he's a combination of two. And when you get to know Mike, he is definitely Mike Bain. He's his own person.
A lot of people always just think when they hear about giving or philanthropy that it means money. And a lot of times it does. But giving can take on so many different aspects. And it doesn't have to be money. It can be somebody needs some good advice. I mean, giving can be just giving somebody good advice and keeping them on the right path. Giving of your time costs nothing, and everybody can do that.
He loves WT, and he loves to talk about WT. We just finished this ag complex. He was in there from the beginning, and he wanted to know how can we get it done.
When we started on the capital campaign for the new ag building, Mike was one of those that really stepped up to the plate and saw what a value that program, that department, and that facility would have on not only WT, but on this area. And he ended up being a very, very big part of that. Not easy to do, but yet he did it. And that's the love for WT that he has.
Yeah, I think when you see Mike Bain, you see WT, and I don't know that you see that with all the alumni. And that's what we need from a distinguished alumni, I think.
He's probably one of the most positive and important male influences that I have in my life.
He's a good friend, and the family is a great family. And I could always know if I were in need, that he would be one of the very first ones on the scene every single time. You can't buy that.
I don't know, it's just hard to describe when you can go to work for 25 plus years and be a part of something that you take serious because it is a family unit, but you take serious because every employee that we've ever had over those last, I keep saying 30 years, approaching 30 years, they are family. It's unbelievable.